Wrestling is trash. Wrestling is trash.
And welcome back to another episode of Wrestling is Trash, the podcast where us trash boys get together and talk everything professional wrestling. The good, the bad, the ugly, and boy, do we have the good, the bad, and the ugly to talk about today. Coming to you live from California, I am Trash Boy numero uno, Nick Anicelli. Hope everyone's doing good today, but I'm always awkward. Don't really like talking about myself, so I'm instantly going to pass it over to my man, Trash Boy number 2. Lou, how you doing?
You already know Lou from the BX, host of the Everything Podcast, co-host of Wrestling is Trash. Here again, once again, on episode 127 of Wrestling is Trash for you guys. Man, what a fucking show we have for you guys, dude. First of all, the first thing I really wanted to do before we got into the show was to give a shout out to you guys who are streaming and downloading and clicking and doing all the things. Like, we really, like, our intention is not to, like, we're not trying to be anybody big or anything like that. We do this shit for fun. We do it because we enjoy it. We enjoy the rapport, and we love talking about wrestling. That's what we do. And looking at our numbers just kind of shoot up really quickly is super encouraging, and it just kind of wants to it kind of helps us want to create better and bigger things for you guys. So just thank you so much for helping us grow on YouTube. That's actually a really big deal. We got that New Japan episode. What is it with you guys in New Japan? You guys love New Japan, huh? We're gonna have to become a New Japan show because that video is through the roof. So
yeah, and it's funny because we've made it known multiple times before that show and during the show that this is not our expertise area. We made it known. I'd like to think we didn't do too bad of a job, especially for some other shows I briefly listened to, and even the popular news sites coverage. At least we kind of did our thing with that. And so yes, thank you guys again. When I first started this with Rob, Lou, Dan, all of us, like, I've always just wanted to do it for fun. Don't care about fame. Don't care about a script. Just kind of get here, do our thing, talk wrestling. Because it's, as you all know who listen, wrestling brings you into different friends and things like that. So that's what I loved about it. Talking with people who I haven't known for a while about wrestling. Now I talk to shit on the daily. But yes, thank you guys again very much. For us, 2023 is off to a great start. But for one of probably the biggest wrestling company right now in the world, it's not really starting out that great. You want to tell everyone live why, Lou?
Bro, we're not even 2 weeks into the year, and there's already chaos and turmoil in the WWE. So, as you all well know, this well documented, Vince McMahon has returned and ascended to power in the WWE. He basically bullied his way back into his own company, being the majority stockholder. He literally, they talk about be a star, be a star. Well, he literally bullied his way back, and he said, listen, I got all these shares. I'm coming back. I don't care. And he is now back. And literally right before the show today, we get word from Stephanie McMahon that she has decided to step down from her position and go on the leave that she previously was going to go on before Vince was taken out due to, well, not taken out, but he decided to step down when all these allegations hit. So, but we all know the deal there. And it's just, it's been very chaotic. I thought I would take a second here to kind of just read her statement, if you guys will bear with us, because it's pretty poignant what she wrote here. So she says, about 8 months ago, I took a leave of absence, and within a few weeks, unexpectedly had the opportunity of a lifetime. I had the privilege to return as the co-CEO and chairwoman of the board of WWE. I cannot put into words how proud I am to have led what I consider to be the greatest company in the world, working alongside a remarkable leadership team and one of the strongest executives I have known in my co-CEO, Nick Khan. That guy. Our founder, Vince McMahon, has returned as executive chair and is leading an exciting process regarding strategic alternatives. And with Nick's leadership and Paul Triple H Levesque as chief content officer, I am confident WWE is in the perfect place to continue and provide unparalleled creative content and drive maximum value for our shareholders. WWE is in such a strong position that I have decided to return to my leave and take it one step further with my official resignation. I look forward to cheering on WWE from the other side of the business where I started when I was a little kid as a pure fan. I will always remain dedicated to WWE. I truly love our company, our employees, our superstars, and our fans. And I am grateful to all our partners. Thank you for everything. Then, now, together, forever, Steph. So, Nick, official resignation. She's basically, it's not just a leave. Like, she's
He's
not just,
done.
hey, I'm going to take a little break or whatever. She gave everything up. She's done.
Yep. And as I said, I think in the group text and then just to you and then even to my girl about it in the short time frame this has been out, it's like, first off, thank you, Stephanie, not just for these 8 months, for everything.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? From the on screen to the off screen to the amazing woman she is, you know what I mean? Crazy how such an amazing woman could be one of the, some people say, you know, greatest TV heels because of how she acted on TV. But just, you know, you got to think like, your dad finally leaves and you take over, you know, because some people say, you know, should they have just bought the company or gut the company, blah blah blah, like should the kids have taken it, whatever way you want to look at it, right? Regardless, she had the realm, and it's like, all right, I got this, you know. And then it's like, all right, well, now he's back. Now there's like another allegation thing where he might have to step down again because of coming back too soon or something. We kind of have a clip of that, but so we even know how long this will last, but it'll probably last. And it's just like, probably like I said, man, just fed up. Just fed up. You got to think like everyone's made it known Vince isn't the easiest person to work with. You know, some people praise him, but they even say then the ones who praise him, like he's not easy to work with at all times. So when that's your own father, you know, like we talk about awkwardness in professionals, right? Like with jobs, like we've all had that awkward conversation with our boss. Imagine when that's your own dad. You know, like we make jokes about like the dinner table's probably awkward tonight, you know?
Yep.
Things are just different. And it's like, as I said, she's worth $1 zillion. Her husband's worth $1 zillion, who's still making zillion of dollars. Like, fuck it. Go out and be a mom. Like, I give her credit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, fuck it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you trust Nick Khan, whatever. We hear good things about him, bad things about him. We hear he's part of the cuts. We hear he's not part of the cuts. You know, we hear all this mixed reviews. So you know, he's not a heel or a face to me. I can't really decide what he is.
Right. Right.
But it's just like, you know, like just thanks for everything. But it's like you never know what's gonna come next in this scenario.
It's always a roller coaster with the WWE, no matter what it is, whether it's in inner workings, outer workings, releases, new signings. There's always a roller coaster, dude.
Yeah.
And it's funny. Last week I was saying about Vince McMahon, like I was trying to convey how, you know, when I'm at the ripe old age of 70, God willing, you know, I want to be in a position where I'm like comfortable enough to just live and be, you know, the rest of my days just happily. And it's like she's doing what he should be doing. Like he should be shuffling the fuck out of here and going to live off in his golden years with his wife and going traveling and seeing the world. I mean, obviously he's done a lot of that already, but in a business sense, like how much time for relaxation, bro? From what I understand, dude only sleeps like 4 hours. Like how the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, 70 years, bro, if I slept only 4 hours a day, I would not be able to function. There's no way. So it's like
you.
No. I'm just saying she's going off and realizing, damn, you know what? My kids are a certain age. Eventually they're going to be out of the house and all that. You know, I need to be a mom and spend time with my kids, and maybe they want to travel, or maybe she just wants to sit at home and eat bonbons, bro. Who knows? She just probably wants to get away from all this craziness. And
She
I
deserves
can't
it.
blame her, bro. You got the money, you got the wonderful family, you got, she's basically got it all. You got your health. Just, bro, enjoy life, dude. Stop. You don't have to deal with this bullshit. Can you imagine how miserable it must be over there right now? Supposedly, according to all the reports that I'm seeing online, morale is not good right now over there, because Stephanie was very,
Mhm.
very well liked, and her leaving is not good.
Yeah, and it's like, even if like you can't, as we were saying off air, you can't allow Triple H go, because he is the morale booster right now.
Man,
Yeah, I mean, morale was through the roof, and then in the past 10 days, like, the thing is, what makes me think is, as much as we all talk shit on Twitter and there's these dirt sheets, like, people in the company read those things. Like, you got to think, like, and obviously Vince don't give a fuck, but he definitely knows this is not well liked by his fans.
right.
Yeah, I mean, like, this is
That's
not,
the thing,
this
though.
isn't
That's
like,
the thing, though. It was today, Tuesday. So
we know he doesn't
you know,
care.
can you imagine on Friday if he just decides to open the show? How loud the pop is going to be from the general
Yeah.
public, because they love Vince. Most of the people, again, I forgot who said it, but I think it was Dave Chappelle. It's like, Twitter is not the real world, bro. I know we live and die on Twitter because that's where we get all our information and shit, but dude, that's a like sample size of like the actual world. So if he was to come out on SmackDown,
So,
all those people will be like, wow, like fuck it, they would freak out, and that's
yeah, and I
exactly
think
what he
that's,
wants.
yeah,
He would feel validated with that shit.
just like, so SmackDown averaged 0.3 million viewers, right? So I want to ask you this, because obviously the IWC lives, breathes, and dies wrestling to a toxic point. We've said before, right? Some not all toxic, but definitely toxic, right? And they like, and so out of the 2.3, say every week there's always 2.3 million. How many of them you think's really part of that, like, IWC?
Yeah, would you say even like 500,000? I don't even think it's that
Yeah,
many.
because if you look at these big pages, like, I think Meltzer, I'll check right now real quick, because I think we could argue Meltzer's probably got one of the biggest followings, right? Would you say?
I would go directly to him for that.
So
Like,
Dave Meltzer only has not only has 300,000 followers exactly.
yeah.
Right. So it's like they're like, and I see, and this is where I give Tony Khan credit. He listens to like the hardcore fans, which is a good thing, right? You don't always have to, but he does. He does listen to them. But so you got to think, if we say 2.3, yeah, like you said, there's still over 1.5 million people that probably don't follow these dirt sheets, that watch SmackDown and Raw every week and are genuinely surprised.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there are people who see these Cody vignettes, right? Us knowledgeable wrestling fans are like, all right, this dude's probably coming back in the Rumble now, like, for sure. People are going to see him. We'll still get a pop because it's like, yo, this dude's back. He had that crazy injury in that match that we all saw. But it's like, people are going to be like, yo, like, there are people out there that have no clue The Rock could be in the picture for Mania.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's who they're catering to.
Yeah. The general public, man. The ones.
That's
the
why
ones
Vince
who are
don't
not,
give
like,
a fuck. Vince ain't here for fans like us. He's really not.
Yeah. It's the
Tony Khans, the Triple H's, they're there for us. Vince don't give a fuck. You think when Vince is right and Raw, he cares about what wrestling is trash is thinking? Like, no, he don't give a fuck.
Of course not. It's just we're literally the vocal minority. It's we think we're making all this noise. Not like, if you look at Meltzer's tweets, he's tweeting about it like, an hour ago. He's tweeted about the board of directors, voted to vote Vince back in. It's got 267 retweets. Like, that's 267 people. You think at Monday Night Raw, the stadium, that it's like 12,000 people. So, like, do the math. It's the vocal minority. He doesn't give a shit about the Twitter people. It's when he comes out on SmackDown, or if I'm telling you, bro, I said it last week, he's gonna be back on TV soon. I'm telling you, bro, it's gonna happen. one of these Mondays or one of these Fridays, we're gonna be on Twitter, and it's gonna say Vince McMahon will will open the show tonight. I guarantee it's gonna happen, and he's gonna come out and he's gonna get the pop and say something for like 15 seconds and bounce, and they're gonna eat it. He's gonna eat it up. That's an ego thing. That's just like the adoration thing. He's not gonna get booed. You think they're gonna boo him? There's no way.
No.
There's not a chance he's gonna get booed, and he knows that.
I don't.
It's literally his company. Like, it's all him. So,
dude, I don't know. It's usually when news, something comes better along, and it's just one of them that nothing's happening. Like, like what seems next could be Triple H. Like, you know what I mean? And
I'm gonna tell you something right now. If Triple H puts out a tweet or some bullshit that he's like, I've decided to step down and blah blah, that's it, bro. It's a wrap for this company for the next couple of years. I can't deal with Kevin Dunn being in charge of fucking creative. I can't do it. And why not bring back Johnny Ace too? Let's get Johnny Ace back out of the fucking hole you threw him in and put him back in creative. Fuck, make him the GM again. Have him come out and do the goddamn Raw anonymous GM bullshit again. Why not go back to all that horse shit?
Yeah, and you know what it is too? It's like Stephanie leaving is more of like I can't think of not a shot to the heart, but like a damn, like the superstars don't want to see her go. You know what I mean? Because from childhood fans, like how we all were seeing her on TV, and then how nice of a person she is and all that, no one wants to see her leave. It's like, you let someone like Triple H go, hear me out. This is where you have your talent, like Seth Rollins, who loves the art of professional wrestling, who says right now he will eat, sleep, and breathe just WWE, who maybe would stay, but I bet you is going to hear a Tony Khan offer. You know what I mean? Like those bigger names, like that's just me, because Triple H is the guy that's going to keep a lot of names around. He leaves, other people they'll entertain whoever, which is fair. I think, and regardless who's in charge of whatever company, you should always hear out your options. Like, I'm a total believer in that. But it's like, that's what, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like Vince is just saying, fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, dude, if I was Tony, I would keep it nice and quiet right now. I know we had a good laugh with him the other day with his tweet about, oh, everybody's treating me nice today. I wonder what's going on. I know we got a kick out of that, and it was a nice troll, and he likes to troll. But, dude, right now, I would just focus on my shows and make some cool announcements about ROH and things like that. And I wouldn't even bother with any of that bullshit, because it's just not a good look, bros. You need to stop focusing so much on what the other people are doing and focus on what you're doing. So if I was him, I wouldn't even bother.
Yeah, because you already know tomorrow, even though he did everything precautionary, saying Mercedes won't be there. If she's not there, the dude's going to get backlash for that, which he did everything. He did everything you were supposed to do to not get backlash. But as we said, the wrestling minority is going to backlash. Oh, how was she not there? Blah, blah, blah. Like, bro, we said she had a partner.
He's going to get backlash whether she's there or whether she's not there. He's going to get backlash.
I'd rather be getting that backlash than the other backlash that's going on.
Really,
especially too, like we were saying, like Funny and all that. They just came off their drama. Yeah, I mean, hey, Tony probably sitting there like, better them than me. My team's got a playoff game this weekend.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Got other shit to focus on.
So,
but speaking of Tony and Sasha and all those things, as we said earlier, our New Japan episode really took off, and we enjoyed really talking about that. So we figured there's more news, so why not discuss it? So the New Japan show has a show in San Jose, and it's sold out on the strength of one match on being on the card. They sold out a show having one match only announced on the card. You know what that match was? Money.
Money versus Kyrie.
Money versus Kairi. I always want to call her Kairi Sane, but it's just Kairi. That's the only match announced for this show, and the motherfucking shit sold out. That is a big deal.
There could be more matches announced, and we just don't even know.
Oh, no. Well, obviously, there's going to be more matches. But it's
Yeah,
just like,
but
damn,
yeah,
bro, you sold out a show based on one match of two women, bro. Like that's and it's a New Japan show. It's not like a WWE show or something like that where you kind of expect these shows to sell out. No, this is a fucking New Japan show. So it's like, dude, that's a big deal, man. Sasha, I gotta stop calling her that.
hey, you're still
Mercedes,
in that grace period. You're still in the grace
yeah,
period,
I love that character, man. She's basically the same character. She just changed her name. But
bro. People still say Daniel Bryan. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like
Jim Ross still
that's gonna
says
be a
Daniel Bryan all the time. Jim Ross does that
yeah.
shit
He
all the
called Dan.
goddamn time.
He called
Um,
Kenny Omega the WWE champion. Remember
yeah,
that?
that's crazy as hell. That's crazy as hell.
Oh, Ross.
Yeah, man, that just goes to show you, bro. That girl is box office. She is the real fucking deal. She is a star. She's a big deal. I don't care what all these nerds on Twitter say that they're trying to detract from her name and say that she's not this and she's not that and she
Yeah,
shouldn't have left and she's not gonna
Ross.
do anything anywhere. Yo, she rings bells, bro. And I'm just gonna give her all the love in the world for that shit. That she deserves every bit of that shit. And I can't wait to watch that match.
Because it seems she's going to be in New Japan at least for a few months, for sure, right? Maybe longer. Say she does go back to WWE or goes to AEW, like we were saying before. I kind of hope, even if she signs any contract, I hope wherever she does is not long term, right? Because I want to see her just go out and do these things, and that's just awesome. You know what I mean? Like we always say, like, oh well, this person was announced for a pay per view now, ticket prices went up. Like, yo, one name was announced and the motherfucker sold out. I don't
Yep.
care if there was only, I don't know how many seats are there, but even if there's only 6,000, when that shit first got announced, there was a lot of seats left. So you could even if it is only that big, which that's still big to me, honestly, but yo, she put 6,000 people in a seat or 10,000 people, 15. I don't know how big the arena is, but she did that. And that's like proving your worth. Now, granted, there's still a high right now from all this, but she does have that star power. You know what I mean? Like Ajar, a guy who's in the group chat, just on the little quieter side. He's very, very big Mercedes fan. Like he in that club, he in the crew, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And for
Sasha
those
fan.
who don't know, last night was the national championship for college football, one of the biggest sporting events of the year. And last year, she opened it. She was the open for it. You know what I mean? Like, yes, the average wrestling fan probably doesn't watch college football like that, but the average American does. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a big college football fan, and I watch that game every year, right? So, yeah, I think she was opening that.
Let me ask you something, because the idea just struck me. So let's say, because obviously the rumor is WWE's for sale. We were speculating in the pre-show before we went live that Comcast, NBC Universal is probably the front runners to like pretty much outright buy the entirety of WWE or whatever. And we know they have a contract with NFL. Could you ever see like a wrestling match opening a football game? Like as far as like, how they have or maybe even a halftime show like on the fucking
I would say,
on
remember
the
halftime
field?
heat? I could see that. So I don't know the logistics of how long it takes because you got to think like big
You got to
games like
build
a
a ring,
Super
right?
Bowl. Yeah, you got to think big things like Super Bowl. No, because obviously we all know it's all about the halftime performance
Right.
show. But I could see like
Like a divisional playoff
somehow
game.
wrestling. I could see it. I could see it somehow wrestling affiliated for sure. Like getting them involved. You know, whether it's having people at games and because you got to think like every Sunday on Fox they promote SmackDown like a lot.
Yeah.
So I definitely could see like something. I could see something.
That would be a wild
Maybe they
fucking
did like
idea if you just at halftime they just wheel a fucking fully built out ring and they have a 10-minute match like Roman Reigns
yeah.
and
I
Braun
could see.
Strowman have like a little 8-10 minute match. That would be fucking insane. I don't
Yeah,
know
I
why I
could
thought this
see
popped in
stuff
my head.
because anything could happen. You know what I mean? Like you could do anything. You know what I
Hell
mean?
yeah.
Like shit. If Disney buys it, is Roman Reigns going to be a cameo in a movie, whether it's as a
Yeah.
cartoon or not? Like you know what I mean? Like because Disney, ESPN, all that. You know, so yeah, it's just crazy where it could end up, and it's what I love about it is with wrestlers, as we were saying with Mercedes, it's like you just get that one break. You know what I mean? Like The Rock got that one break. Batista, argue or not, he's very popular. He's been getting a lot of praise on the internet too, actually. John Cena, I'd say obviously Mercedes now. You know what I mean? Roman's kind of getting popular. As we've said on the AEW side, like MJF starting to do little movies. That's all
Right.
it takes. Jade, I don't know if Jade's done anything yet, but Jade's gonna go somewhere. You know what I mean? She's gonna be in a movie or some shit. You know what I mean? So
You know what's
it's cool
bugged
seeing
out?
how it is used.
I saw a clip on I think it was on Twitter, which we stay on fucking Twitter, bro. I see everything on Twitter.
Too much.
I saw a
Yeah.
clip of The Rock on fucking Star Trek Voyager. Now, I'm a Star Trek guy. Like Star Trek Enterprise, Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Like I grew up watching that shit. I can see on your face that you're like, what? So I can see you're not a Star Trek guy, and that's okay. It's fine.
Nah.
But the thing is, Star Trek Voyager came out, and I watched maybe like the first 2 or 3 episodes, and I hated that show. The plot of Star Trek Voyager was they were exploring the galaxy, and they hit like this wormhole that sends them like basically 75 years away from where they were supposed to be. So their ship does not have the power to get them back in time. It would literally take them 75 years to get back home if they turned around
Yeah.
and tried to go back. So the idea of the show is they're going to different planets and exploring, but they're trying to find out how to fucking get back home.
Yeah.
And one of the episodes, they ended up like in some. I never saw it when I watched the show because like I said, after 3 episodes I got pissed off at the captain because she could have gotten them home like 4 different times, but she didn't want to like violate the prime directives that they follow. So I was like, bitch, no, we're 75 years away from home. Like, we need to violate whatever the fuck to get home. But that's another story. There was an episode where they're like in some kind of like arena, and one of the characters named Seven of Nine. She's like her character is like the Borg. She's separated from them or whatever. She's like very strong and can fight and all this bullshit. And she's over here fighting in this arena. And who is it that comes out? It's the fucking Rock. And I was like, what? How did I never know this until this? Like, how did I just find this out that he was on goddamn Star Trek, bro? I had no idea he was on Star Trek, dude.
You
This
know,
shit blew my
what just
mind.
popped in my head? One, I had that reaction because I wouldn't picture you as a Star Trek guy, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, I love Star Trek.
And then,
Love it.
second, it popped in my head, right? Thinking like The Rock, right? Even before he was Hollywood Rock, he kind of came off like a Hollywood celebrity, like his character, right? The way he dressed and everything. Batista, same thing. Sasha, same thing, right? And then even like on the AEW side, like Jade, the way she presents herself, and MJF, the only one you could argue is maybe Cena, because he always wore his Fruity Pebble shirts. Does it seem like the ones that get presented like they're Hollywood stars just naturally become Hollywood stars?
Well, you would think that's the thing that I don't understand. Like, I don't understand why there's not more famous wrestlers like that. Like, dude, do people understand how hard it is to go out there in front of like fucking 14,000 people on a live show every week and be cutting promos on another dude and staying in character and then performing in athletic competition?
Yeah.
Like, that shit is like, that shit takes serious talent, bro. I know people like to shit on wrestling or whatever. It's basically a male soap opera. I understand that, but some guys are better than others at cutting the promos. But dude, people like Kevin Owens or Seth Rollins.
What about Samoa Joe? Like, how hasn't Samoa Joe been like how hasn't Samoa Joe been like the bad guys, like heavy? Like, how hasn't Samoa Joe been that guy in the movie that can talk a little bit, be intimidating, while like the dweeby little old guy is right there?
Like, I was super excited when I found out that he was gonna, because he's gonna be on this they're making a Twisted Metal show.
And he's
Twisted Metal PlayStation game or whatever, and he's gonna be playing Sweet Tooth. And I was like, oh, that's dope. But then I found out that he's only playing like the body. He's not using his no vocals of any kind, because Will Arnett the actor is doing the voice of Sweet Tooth. So it's like Joe's performing, but he's not talking. And I'm like, bro, that's like half of Joe's like whole thing is the way he talks and shit. Like, how do you not want to use that? I get Will Arnett's a big star, but it's like, bro, come on, man. You're gonna have Samoa Joe there and you're not gonna let him talk? That's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah. And then to kind of move on, speaking of big stars and staying on the New Japan kind of subject, Switchblade, Jay White, is apparently his contract's running out. I know he has a match like February 11th, like loser leaves New Japan with oh my god, his name's on tip of my tongue. The guy we were saying last week, WWE's interested in him.
Oh, Hikuleo?
Hikuleo, yes. And now apparently they have interest in both of them. So I kind of want to watch that match to see who's actually leaving. But as expected, he has a heavy interest because he's made it known he wants to go to America, and he's got heavy interest from WWE and AEW. And what I read is, exactly. And just crazy because you hear the Hikuleo speculation, and then he's in that match. And then, makes sense why he'd go, blah, blah, blah. Then Jay White, he's in that match, and he just dropped the title. So anyway, I guess, where do you want to see him?
You know, it's hard because I look at a guy like Switchblade, and one of my favorite things about him is his promo, and he has got a foul mouth. And that's one of those things where it's not a big deal because he was on Impact for a couple months earlier this year, and he was totally fine on there, even though he was a little more subdued than he usually is. So he should be fine. But yeah, we already saw him in AEW, so I kind of want to say WWE because I kind of want to see him wrestle Seth Rollins. No, not even kind of. Like, I want to see that match. I want to see them go at it, bro. Like, pause. For real. Even though, it's gonna be toned down a bit because, they tend to take moves away and they don't let them go full crazy. But with Triple H in charge of things, that has loosened up a little bit. You've seen guys doing some wild shit out there. But I kind of think he's going to end up, it's tough, man, because he's got a lot of friends. And I don't know if he has a lot of, besides like the Good Brothers and AJ, and Finn Balor too. So he has friends in both companies. I'm sure they're all friends in some way or another. So,
and they're both trying to recruit because that's how it goes.
And I just, it'd be nice for him to get the fucking bag, bro. That guy's been working too hard for too long. I'm sure New Japan is paying him very, very well, but it would be really nice to see him get the fucking bag. Like, imagine him popping up in the Royal Rumble, bro. Oh my God. It's not going to happen. At least not this year.
Yeah.
Because I think his contract is like it's a little past the Royal Rumble, but bro, that would be fucking tremendous to hear the Switchblades music come out and he come out in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, no, dude. So that's what it is with me, man. I want to see people. Now, we all know Tony can give the bag as well. And you know what I'm interested to see? And you only see it every once in a while from WWE. But you can usually look up like yearly salaries. Like, it usually gets released. I don't know if maybe because the company's public, but I would like to know what some of those people are making over there. Because there's just there's just a lot of money that TK obviously throws around. And I know they just signed, WWE just signed someone else too from New Japan Strong. I got to look up the names so we can get back to it. But so they're heavy in that New Japan market right now. And
I
don't know.
If I was Triple H and I was in charge of that recruiting process, I'd be, as soon as I'm able to be on the phone to talk to Jay White, I would be on the fucking phone to talk to him, bro. Because that's a final boss type dude. I saw a video where, I don't know how old it was, but it was Triple H talking about, he was saying, there's plenty of wrestlers. Like, there's wrestlers everywhere, but we're not looking for wrestlers. We're looking for like the one in a millions. We're looking for stars. We're looking for the cream of the crop, for lack of a better word. That's Jay White. Jay White's one of those dudes. He is a top dog. So I would be on the phone immediately with that dude. Whenever it is that his contract is available.
So it's Carl Fredericks
Okay.
signed with NXT. Yeah, Carl Frederick was one. But yeah, no, I agree, dude. Like, one, go get the bag, and that's what it is. Like, they're gonna sign. Like, if you really think about it, all the big New Japan stars in like the last 5 years that come to my mind just instantly, like on the American side, they've signed or made an offer. AJ Styles, the Good Brothers were hot at the time, brought them in. Shinsuke Nakamura, oh my God, wow, he was in NXT. Why am I drawing a blank on his name? Oh my God. He began with a K. He already left. He just didn't renew his contract. He had like the time machine kind of Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune. Back to Kushida.
Kushida, there you go.
Kushida. Then even when the Bucks and Hangman and Omega and all them were up before AEW was a thing. I don't know if you remember. They offered Omega and the Bucks like 6-month contracts to try it out. They could bring part of the contract was BTE, and Hangman was going to go to NXT making main roster money. So if they think you're a big star, they're going to pay you. So I think that's why it'd be cool just to see, just like I said, just to see that bag.
Oh, yeah.
I'm all about the motherfuckers going out and just getting paid personally. I know I keep saying it, but that's just me. Like, yo, especially a dude like him who's grinded between Impact, New Japan, brief AEW appearances, like, F it. And to be honest, we've seen a lot of people. I want to see these more. I want to see not Forbidden Door because it's signing with the company, but you know what I mean. I want to start seeing it go the other way too.
Yeah, it's yeah. Like I said, he was already on AEW, and it's like AEW. I tend to not be one of those guys who says they have a bloated roster, but they fucking do. They just have. They have a lot of guys, and there's a lot of lack of direction for some of these people, and then that goes without saying. So I don't really think Jay White is going to get the proper, like, I think he would be a much bigger deal in WWE than he is in AEW, even though there's probably more fans who are familiar with him in AEW than there are in WWE. But I think he would end up getting super over with his character if he went to a Raw or SmackDown. Just not. You cannot put that guy in NXT, bro. Do not fucking have me turn on NXT and see Jay White on NXT. I will drive to Stanford, bro. Don't do that, bro. That's not an NXT. Like,
no.
Dragon Lee, I kind of understand why they're putting him in NXT because, you know, the English thing, and, you know, they're probably going to want to work on him a little bit and change some things. But, bro, you cannot put Jay White on what's he gonna feud with Braun Breaker? Get the fuck out of here, bro. He needs to go to the main roster. Like, just come on. Don't do that.
Don't see, do that, I wish now I wish Bandito would have signed with them, because then I want to see him in Dragon Lee.
No.
Because I haven't seen Bandito him on TV in a minute.
He's just
I ain't seen him on TV in a minute.
He's just on Dark. Yay, Dark.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know, that's what it is. You got to. Some things just take time, though. You know what I mean? We always say that. And one thing that took its time, and I'm gonna go back. I won't say Lou, but I was critical. I'm pretty sure he was, but I don't like calling people out when I'm wrong. Back in the beginning of September, at the Clash at the Castle Premium Live event, old Dominic Mysterio turned on his father, and then aligned with the Judgment Day. Initial reactions and initial presentation, one word in my eyes: awful. Awful. Now we fast forward 4 months later, we'll argue Dominic Mysterio might be my favorite thing on Monday Night Raw right now.
And it's funny because I don't know if that's due to the shitty direction that Raw is in, or just that this Dominic Mysterio thing is so good. Because I mean, come on, bro. You got
the Judgment Day.
We look at this picture, bro. This is some next level. This is some serious Vato Locos vibes, bro. So we had some fun in the group chat earlier. I took that picture and I kind of badly superimposed Dominic into the Vatos Locos tribe here. We had
This is why. Sorry to cut
we
you off.
had
This is why our audio listeners need to subscribe to our YouTube
oh
page
yeah,
so
that's
you
why you
can
need to
see
come on
these
YouTube
photos.
so you could check out this even though we're blocking our
Yeah.
faces there. We're still trying to figure this shit out, guys. Sorry. I'm over here. Nick's over there. Hey guys.
Hey,
This was
we're in the photo.
the father of our podcast. Yeah, there you go. I got to pose somehow. My B-boy stance.
Yeah, we're in
The
photo.
father
We're
of the
Judgment
podcast,
Day.
Mr. B Rob, came up with this album cover here. All he did was slap the parental advisory sticker on there, but it's all good. I ended up getting this from friend of the show, Joe Bruno. Proof that video games can lead to your children to a life of crime. I thought that was
That's
funny.
so perfect.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's
props
hilarious.
to PSP being so far ahead of its time.
Yeah, man. I actually really miss my Vita. I had a Vita for for like a year, and I missed that thing. But dude, when Dominic turned heel, we all thought, it might not have been the best, visually or whatever, but we agreed that this is probably the best for his character because that the face being tag team with his dad and being like a good guy, it was not working. It was
It
not
just ran its
working
course.
with the spandex suit that he had on, the full body suit, and it just wasn't working, bro. So we were like, yeah, we'll turn him heel, and people usually excel when they turn heel, but now this is like next level shit. This whole going home for the holidays and getting beat up by his family, his own family, and beating his dad's ass in his house and all that.
Going
I
to jail.
said before, Rey Mysterio. I need Rey Mysterio's Latino card. I need to pull his Latino card, bro, because if he hasn't pulled out a chancleta yet and beat Dominic's ass, I can't consider that dude a Latino dad, bro. But he's the best thing on Raw. He really is. This kid is hilarious.
He's
Now,
getting pops.
he's getting he's getting pops, he's getting props, he's getting everything. He is bugging and thugging on this show. And the fact that his in-ring work is, it's not great, but it's not the worst I've seen because Tyrus is still out there wrestling. So, it's not even about the in-ring with Dominic. It's just about the character and the shit that he's saying, dude. It's hilarious. He's got a teardrop tattoo, bro. He literally got a real teardrop tattoo. I don't understand why he did that.
Hey, that's what happens when you do hard time.
But he did a whole 3 hours of hard time. And shout out to even the Miz and Corey Graves too. They were bugging on the commentary, bro. He was throwing out all the lines from The Office,
Yeah.
Prison Mike, and all that shit. Everybody was having a good time, dude. It's the best thing on Raw by far because most of Raw is basically garbage.
And you know
it's
it's crazy. And you're crazy because we used to shit on Judgment Day.
Yeah.
Right? Shit on them. But Rhea Ripley, I'd argue fan favorite and even sporting book favorite odds of winning the Women's Rumble. Like, I would not be shocked if she won.
Oh, yeah.
Judgment Day just won the tag whatever match last night to face the Usos. Now, granted, I don't see them winning because I did the KO Sammy thing. But if Judgment Day were the ones to beat them, they would get a massive pop. And eventually, it's going to happen, Dom and Ray at Mania. It's been speculated forever. When Ray comes out to start that feud again, he's going to get booed. And Dominic's going to get the pop. It's going to be your classic heel face that aren't getting what you're supposed to get. And when Dominic wins at Mania, it's going to be, hey! Like, everyone's going to go nuts. It's just, dude, it's so funny, man. It's so, I'm proud. I'm happy for all four of them. You know what I mean? Because they've been getting treated, not just entertainment-wise, even in-ring-wise. They're going over more. Like, they're being booked good. I will say that.
And it's funny because I thought the breakout person of that group was going to be Damian Priest.
Yeah.
Because, Punishment, when he came in as Punishment Martinez from the Indies and ROH and shit, I was a big fan of that dude. And I thought that he eventually was going to, get himself over with that kind of like rocker gimmick that he had. And they kind of pushed him and then gave up on him kind of quick, I feel like. And then when they put him in Judgment Day, I thought he was going to be like the breakout dude. And it turns out there's Dominic. Dominic's the fucking breakout dude, which is hilarious because he's like, I don't want to say this to be mean or anything, but he's literally like the least talented one out of that group.
Yeah.
And like by far, like, you know what I mean? Like by far. So
yeah, because Rhea's arguably getting the best booking of them all, which she should. Look at the size.
yeah,
Like she's
bro,
so massive.
she squashed the shit out of Candace, bro.
And oh god, yes. And
Candace
then
is over. She's
yeah,
done
and
with.
then yeah, and then you got to think like, because Damian, like you said, in NXT was over good, came to the main roster. As much as wrestling fans might not listen to him, being partnered with Bad Bunny is a really big deal. You know what I mean? Like that
Yeah.
dude's so
Oh,
goddamn
yeah.
popular. Had a Mania match with him, then wins the
That
U.S.
was
title.
great.
You know, mediocre title run because Vince made him this Jacqueline Hyde thing. Then it's a guy, now it's like, all right, cool. Now he's with Judgment Day and he's with Edge. Didn't really take off.
You think about the purple thing, the fucking purple thing that they did on Raw, where he wrestled the match, I think with AJ, right? And then he hit AJ with something. AJ's laid out, and he just gets down on one knee, and the purple lights in his face. He makes a weird face. They go to commercial. They come back, and they're gone. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Now he's with the talent. Like, so I'm happy he's back to where he was when he first debuted, kind of thing. Like, as far as spotlight, I should say. Like, Judgment Day's gonna get a Mania match of somehow, whether it's a mixed tag with Rhea involved or some shit. Like, they're gonna, like, him and Finn are going to be on that card.
Yeah, and collectively they're literally like, I don't want to say the bloodline of Raw because that's kind of stupid to say, but they're the best thing on Raw. And honestly, they were booked really strong last night too. Rhea came out and completely decimated Candice. They went
Dominic
through this gauntlet.
Good.
They beat all these teams. Hey, Good Brothers. Welcome back, guys. You fucking jobbers. Welcome back, bro. I hope the money's real good for you guys. I hope the money's real good. I hope that
it's just so
New Japan
funny,
and
dude.
AEW, like, I hope it's worth it, bro. I really hope so. You came out, you left AEW and Impact to come back to be 5-minute fucking jobbers on Raw. Congratulations, dude, guys.
The reason I love your reaction is because we preach. I think we can agree. We preach, go get your bag, right?
Right.
And that's what they did. But 2 years ago, Carl Anderson had nothing but terrible things to say about them. It's nothing but terrible. So now it's like, I wonder if, it's like, dog, you talk. That's like low-key karma. Yeah, you're getting paid good money, but you ain't going to do shit.
And you know what's funny? You could tell when they came out, they look miserable, bro. They looked fucking miserable when they came out. And as soon as they came out for the entrance, I was like, oh my God.
Unless AJ's involved with them, I just don't like them. I tried in New Japan. I tried in Impact. Even with their first run in WWE, like in the beginning when they were winning tag titles and all that, still didn't. I like the Magic Killer. I like their finisher.
Yeah,
I think
that's literally the only thing I like about them is that finisher.
But like, unless they're the OC with AJ involved, I really don't give a fuck about them.
And it's weird too because, like, I don't see the big deal with them. I've never seen a match of theirs where I've been like, yo, did you see that fucking Good Brothers match last night? That shit was the shit. I know that Carl Anderson is like, he was a singles guy for a while. I know he was a big deal in New Japan with Bullet Club and all that. But even that New Japan match that he just had, I said it was the worst match of the night. Easily, I thought it was the worst match of the night.
You got to think.
The only time I ever got enjoyment out of them was when they were on a few years ago when they were on Raw and they did that thing with Dana Brooke where they had Dana Brooke with them and they were like they were feuding with New Day and they were doing like the scientific nerd shit. That was funny. That shit was funny. But other than that, bro, they in Spanish I would say ni frío ni calor. Like, they don't make me hot or they don't make me cold. They do nothing for me. So it's like,
or I liked when they it was towards the end of their run though, when they were doing like the hot mom thing, how they preach how much they just love hot moms. Like I was watching like a WWE Day of thing recently, and it was the draft, and Luke Gallows was like, "Well, what show statistically has more hot moms watching?" It's just like, it's funny because it's like a guy funny, you know what I mean?
And
like,
was it on WWE where he kept saying I have a hot Asian wife, or was that an AEW? I don't remember where that was, but he would always throw that in there. He's like, I have a hot Asian wife. Like, he would always throw that shit in there. That was funny when they were doing it, but like as far as like wrestling goes,
Yeah, their first run was, but it's funny because we said preach the bag, right? And when they were on AEW TV, like they didn't get booked that great. Like, did they take the better offer, or did they even get an offer from AEW? You also got to think that. I wouldn't be surprised if Tony Khan didn't offer them shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I bet you any money.
Fuck the OC. It's all about fucking Dominic Mysterio.
Dominic.
That's my boy. One more thing I wanted to throw on here was Trash Boy Dan Jenkins.
Spit your history. Let me hear you spit your history. Spit it. All right. So I'm Earl. Speak up. Speak up. Spit your history. I'm Earl, and I'm actually 24 years old. I'm from Englewood, New Jersey, and all my niggas keep it cracking and popping.
I don't have any Photoshop.
There's a problem.
So I don't know how
we tend to solve it. So we just resolve it.
When y'all see this nigga, he is on a plate. He's on a.
But yeah,
and then once again, this is why you guys need to follow the YouTube page and watching. Thank you, Dan, for once again providing us with some comedy.
Oh, that Dominic, he is the best, bro. I can't say enough about him. And to kind of wrap up the news, we started off a little rough, but we wanted to send a little love to Ricochet. Proposed to his now fiance, Samantha Irvin, right? Is her name? I'm pretty sure it is.
Yep.
Just shout outs to him, man. Congratulations, dude. Happy nuptials. Wish you guys the best. It's a beautiful thing to see happy people doing good things. So seems like a real cool dude, great wrestler. I'm going to be talking about him a little bit here, because as we go on to this.
Hey, me too.
Oh, okay.
Hold on, I gotta finish.
He's the man.
I gotta finish one last thing on that.
Oh yeah.
Samantha, I love Samantha only because Pat McAfee preaches her. He always says the pipe's on her. But right now in wrestling, she's over with like everyone. It's crazy. When's the last time a ring announcer was really over? But dog, I love when she announces. Yeah, Lillian Garcia or Justin Roberts. Justin Roberts
JoJo.
is obviously over.
JoJo was pretty good. I like JoJo Offerman too.
Yeah. But I love when she just announces the bloodline. Like when she just says them all, being accompanied by Hulk, Paul Heyman, Sami Zayn, Solo Sikoa, the Undisputed WWE, and then she just hits it, and then it's like she's got it down perfect. So right when she says his name, like the pyro goes off. Like, she's killing it. I'm a big fan of her. And she's like Lillian because she sings.
That's a fucking kick-ass job, ring announcer, bro. I wish, I don't know if I could do it, because I don't know if my voice has that strength in it to be like the bloodline. Like, it's like Justin Roberts is the man, bro. When he does that Kenny Omega shit, bro, he runs through those extended Kenny Omega announcers. Like, I don't know how the fuck he does that shit. And then and then
Kenny, when he does Moxley,
I can't even pretend to do that shit.
And then when he did Anarchy in the Arena.
Awesome.
Do you remember at Double or Nothing during Anarchy in the Arena? He was like, "Ladies and gentlemen, the following," and then he was like, "Shit's about to hit the fan."
I was just like, my boy, going crazy. Music's playing, people are fighting. This was crazy, bro. But
speaking of crazy,
so as you guys saw the past few episodes, we did our year-end wrap-ups, and we wanted to do one show, but we split it up into two shows because there was just so much to talk about with each company that, we ended up doing two shows for you guys. And in doing that, it kind of got our creative juices flowing. So we thought, you know what? Why don't we do for the first episode of the year, which is, no, it's not, this is the second episode of the year, but you know what I'm trying to say. We thought we would create a pay-per-view, since AEW doesn't have a pay-per-view until fucking March. We thought we would kind of create a Forbidden Door WWE AEW cross pay-per-view. So both of us actually have 9 matches. I actually have a pre-show, a quick 4 matches on a pre-show here that I kind of made up. But what we're going to try to do is go through our matches, and then we're going to pick. What do you want to do? You want to keep it 9 total? And then we'll just we'll combine hours both, but we'll keep it at 9. It's going to be hard, bro, because some of these matches are pretty outstanding.
Yeah. Definitely going to be hard. Yeah, we got 2 women's match each. So I think
I
we
actually
just
have
go with it.
3.
I got
I
2
got
women.
3 women's matches because I couldn't not include. I couldn't remove one, so I had to keep them. So
I say at the end we just talk what ones we like the best from each other.
yeah, that'll work.
Just
That'll
do
work.
So
Since I should have let you know that I had a pre-show so you could kind of do one, but since you don't, I'll just kind of throw mine out there. We can see what we think about that. So for the pre-show, I figured I would start it out hot with Alpha Academy versus the Varsity Athletes, which is Tony Nese and Josh Woods. I figured that would be a good hot opener. I really like Josh Woods a lot. I think he's fucking phenomenal. I really enjoyed him when he was in ROH. I kind of not in love with the fact that he's hooked up with Tony Nese, but I think that would be a kick-ass opener. Then I thought about putting in Abaddon versus Nikki Cross.
Okay, I could see that. Writes itself.
That would be a very entertaining match. They could probably do like I have it as listed as just a straight match, but probably like a Falls Count Anywhere match would probably be more fun. Now this one I had it as the main event of the pre-show, but then I moved it because the main event I have for the pre-show is just 2 of my favorites. But Judgment Day versus the House of Black.
That was one that I was gonna do but didn't, so I'm happy you did.
Yeah, man. That you gotta have that match somewhere. You gotta have it. I think that would be a fucking kick-ass match to have.
Would Rhea Ripley beat up her own boyfriend?
Oh man. Well, I got Rhea Ripley's dance card is very filled later on in this for me.
Oh, God.
She got her own problems. And then for the main event of the pre-show, I got Mr. Pre-Show himself, Eddie Kingston, versus Kevin Owens. I think that's something we'd all like to see. So yeah, that's the pre-show. Just something real quick I came up with there. But we go to the main show now. And Nick, I don't know if you want to start. You want me to start?
You want to just run down your card, then I'll go, since you already did a few.
That's cool. Well. So for my card, all right, I'm just gonna go through the whole thing. Well, okay, yeah, let's just do that. So my first match opener.
Save your main event.
Okay. Yeah, my main event is bro. My main event is bananas. The opener for my show would be Street Profits versus Top Flight. You're gonna tell me you're gonna open up a show hotter than that match? I don't know if you're gonna be able to do it. That's just come on. These are matches that, like, as I'm putting them together, I'm like, God damn it, I really hope this happens one day. For my second match, I have a triple threat, and the triple threat is Wesley versus Ricochet versus Bandito in a ladder match for the NXT North American Championship, because we got to have titles on the line on this show.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. My next match, showing love to the ladies, I have Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill for the TBS Championship. Yeah. Tell me you don't want to watch that match. You a liar if you do. If you don't. I figured for my next match, I would kind of have a kind of like a showcase match to kind of break up the championship. So I got a 4-way dance here, and it's Powerhouse Hobbs versus Bobby Lashley versus Braun Breaker versus Wardlow.
Bro. Good go.
Yeah. It's crazy because there's so many people. There's gonna definitely be overlap, but it's like I wanted to spread the love, man, but it was very hard to put this thing together.
Yeah.
For the next match, I went back to the ladies to kind of push us through, and I have Hikaru Shida versus Charlotte Flair for the WWE Women's Championship. That's a match I would love to see. Next match is a straight one-on-one, Ricky Starks versus Seth freaking Rollins. My last ladies match of the night, I think it's going to be pretty obvious what this is Bianca Belair versus Jamie Hayter. Winner takes all. Whoever wins gets both belts. So you got the AEW Women's Championship, and then you got the WWE Raw Women's Championship on the line. My Second to last match, MJF versus AJ Styles for the AEW World Championship.
Okay, I like that.
And my main event, I'm gonna hold on to that right now.
Yep. All right. So similar card. So starting off my show though is Lucha Brothers versus the Usos in a ladder match for the tag belt.
Ooh.
You just know they're gonna deliver.
Oh.
Following that, I'll move to the women's side. So this one was my obvious women's one for the TBS title. Bianca Belair versus Jade.
Okay.
Like battle of strength. Just see who can kind of do what there. Then after that, I had a tag match that people have been wanting to see for a while. New Day, I didn't pick members, but New Day versus the Bucks. I know a lot of people have been wanting to see. So if I was thinking that match just off of style, I'd probably go Xavier and Kofi, just because Big E is, more. I also had a fatal 4-way.
Oh, nice.
With Lashley versus Wardlow versus Hobbs.
Wow.
Versus Gunther.
Oh my God. Yeah.
For the IC title. So that's why when you said yours, I was dying.
Wow.
Then for the TNT title, I had a triple threat of Ricochet, Sammy, and Pac.
Ricochet, Sammy, and Pac. Oh, wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
Then I had a Battle of the Mic match. Like it would happen because they would be good on the mic together. I did MJF and KO.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
Especially. And then this one's shockingly not my main event. And it's going to be because of the style of the match. You'll see why. Not because of what this match is. Like my next match, you'll see why. But co-main event, whatever. I missed out another women's match for this WWE women's Charlotte versus Britt Baker. Reason there is just because I feel Britt Baker is presented as the face of the women's, and people don't kill me, but Charlotte is pretty much presented as the face of the women's division.
She walked in the door and instantly got the belt back on her. Like, come on. Of course.
Hey, she's the biggest face now, though.
Yeah.
After being the one.
Do you see that clip? Do you see that clip of her when she beat this past week? She beat
Sonya Deville.
She beat Sonya, and she's like, "Give me that fucking belt!" And then she's like, "Oh shit, that's right. I'm supposed to be a good guy." Yay! She starts smiling and she raises the belt up, like it's hilarious. And she like instantly is like a heel, like, "Give me that fucking." She says, "Give me that fucking belt," like off mic. And then the ref says something to her, and she smiles. She goes, "Oh shit, that's right. Yeah, I'm a good guy. Yay, I won!"
Yeah,
like it's hilarious.
And then my co-main event for the WWE title in a no disqualification match, Roman Reigns versus Jon Moxley. Thinking because you're going to get interference from Bloodline and Blackpool Combat Club. And then I'll present my main event first because I feel yours is going to be better. But in mind for the AEW title, in a 60-minute Iron Man match, I got Kenny Omega versus Seth Rollins.
Damn.
Because that's my personal, because a lot of people want to see Omega and Seth. Some want to see Omega and Roman because of whatever. But my dream match right now is Omega and Seth.
Damn. A 60-minute Iron Man match. God damn. That would be fucking great, man. Seth Rollins versus Kenny Omega would be phenomenal. I like your card a lot, too. It's definitely got bangers on there. I wanted to include Gunther, but I couldn't figure out where to plug him in. And I didn't want to do like all belts because then it was kind of like I felt kind of weird like having all the belts. And I definitely wanted to put Darby in, and I couldn't figure out a spot for Darby because I couldn't figure out who I could match Darby up with. Maybe Dominic, or Rey Mysterio maybe, but their styles are not really like, I wanted people who like kind of complemented each other, and I couldn't figure out anybody to put Darby in there with. So I had to leave him off the card. Yeah. But my main event, so I have MJ versus AJ Styles for the championship. But the main event of this show would have to be, so what I did is I made a new faction. So I have Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, and Death Triangle, and I call them the Death Elite versus the Bloodline. versus the Bloodline, which is Roman Reigns, the Usos, Solo Sikoa, and Sami Zayn. So 1, 2,
Okay.
3, 4, 5. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Well, I would have to eliminate somebody from Death Triangle.
I'd say
I thought
Pac.
I thought I had 6. Yeah, I would have to take out Pac and just have the Lucha Brothers instead of Death Triangle. But that would be my main event. But Death Triangle, the Young Bucks, and Kenny Omega versus the Bloodline.
Well, and if we're gonna do that, no offense. What? Say it.
Well, I wanted to put them in War Games so bad.
Yeah.
But I couldn't. It's not Survivor Series. So I was like, fuck. And then I was like, maybe I could put them in Hell in a Cell. But then I was like, nah,
Blood and
Guts
Guts
kind of whack. Like, well, Hell in a Cell's kind of whack. I honestly would just like to see them in have that 5-on-5 match, like in the ring, and then they could just do all their crazy shit in there without having to have a gimmick involved.
So I gotta ask you a question. Then, speaking of like dream pay-per-views, say right now, take belts off everyone, right? Just take belts off everyone. Because the obvious answer is, if you're going to book a card, if Tony and Triple H sat down, they'd probably do MJF versus Roman, champ versus champ thing, right? I would assume. But if you and I are Tony Khan and Triple H, or you have that power right now to do one match, what would you, like, in real life right now, if Tony Khan and Triple H sat down, that's why I said take the belt off whoever. If they had to pick one match with real time and everything, who do you think they make the main event? The obvious answer is Roman on WWE side. But who do you think Kenny would pick, I guess, as his gladiator? I mean, not Kenny, Tony. I would think it'd be Kenny.
I would say Kenny Omega, but I don't feel like Kenny and Roman's styles are so different that I don't know.
So different.
Yeah, like I don't know.
You're going to get the better match at us.
Because Roman has the ability. I'm not saying Roman is bad or anything, because he's not. He's more methodical in the shit he does. His shit is more like take you to the ground. He has that guillotine choke. He has the ability to turn it up, when he bounces off the rope, Superman punch and all that shit. But Kenny is just so all over the place, bro. He's jumping through the ropes. He's fucking off the top rope. He's doing all types of crazy shit. And I don't know. So,
because Seth, in my opinion, Kenny and Seth are the best in their respective.
That's what I'm saying. If you're going to remove all the titles from everybody and you're going to place them onto certain people and then have them represent the company, I would do Kenny and Seth Rollins. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't it be funny if you do Kenny and Cody?
I know,
Kenny,
right? Do you
think Cody and you have him wrestle Kenny?
Do you think MJF and Roman would have a good match? Because I think the build would be good. On the mic, they're both good, especially with Paul involved.
When you look at Roman Reigns and you look at MJF is not a physically intimidating guy. Like, he's just not. He looks like a little Jersey piece of shit. Like, I'd slap the shit out of. But he talks a big game and he does deliver in the ring. But I don't know. You put him in there with Roman.
So if Punk was still a thing, is a thing. So if Punk was forever will be whatever thing, would it be Punk Roman then? They'd probably have a better match, you think?
I think they would have a better match. Yeah. They would definitely have. He would have a better match.
They would have a good. Now that's the perfect storyline, especially because of Paul Heyman.
Yeah, Punk, if he's healthy and all that shit, I think he will have a much better match with Roman than MJF. I think.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not trying to take anything away from MJF because he's had some fantastic matches.
No, we love MJF.
It's just like I look at him and I don't like putting him and Roman standing next to each other. I don't know, bro. I feel like Roman will whoop his ass.
Because don't get me wrong, I love MJF, but MJF and Roman we argue, but Roman on that partial schedule, but he gets in the ring more than MJF does, which I credit MJF for.
And he gets it in, bro. He gets it in. He's Roman Reigns is awesome. Like, I don't know, people are tired of him or whatever, but he's fucking awesome. Roman Reigns is the shit. Yeah, but I
because
think I would have
whenever
to
he
go with
drops
that.
the belts, he's gonna go away for a little bit.
Yeah, he's gonna take a break, come back. It's fine. He could take a couple months
Big
and
pop.
then show up on a random pay-per-view. Oh my god, he's back. The tribal chief is back. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I would have to think it's Kenny and Seth. I think that would be the best choice if they're gonna strip all the belts down and pick one-on-one.
Now this is like a funny.
If not, it's. But then, and then you're talking about who else is it? Moxley, Jericho. They were already there. Like they've had those matches with these people, so it's like
That's the
even
reason
though
you can't put. That's why
Moxley's
I tried not to put.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moxley's a different person though,
That's
too.
why
So
I tried not to.
It's not really fair. He's not Dean Ambrose. Like he's Dean Ambrose is like a completely different person compared to what John Moxley is. So I don't really consider that a thing. So I'd like to see Moxley versus Roman Reigns. That's a match I'd like to see for sure. You could definitely do that because they match up well.
That's what
they kind of have the same style, honestly. He loves that fucking
they do.
Choke, that lean back bulldog choke shit. Roman does the same thing. He just does it in reverse. He brings the dude down, and Moxley brings the neck up. So I'm down.
And they're boys too in real life. They're both very vocal about how they're boys in real life too. I don't know. I don't care what anyone says. Triple H has had a conversation with someone, and Tony Khan has had a conversation with someone being like, "Dog, you know how cool it'd be if we booked a dream show with these guys, like a big show." It's happened. I don't think it's ever happened in a no shit public meeting setting or anything, but on those plane rides they take, or
and I don't want to be that guy, but I kind of feel like Triple H is one of those, like, he doesn't say much about AEW, but he really does consider them to be like, they're like Bush League compared to what he's doing. Like, I know he feels like that. So I think Tony, if anything, and again, this is not me liking one over the other, but I just think Tony would be more like, hey man, we could, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's not that he needs to do it, but I think it's something that he would be more open to doing because it would be a great thing to see.
I
think Triple H would be like, yeah, we'll do it as long as all my guys fucking go over. You could have the Miz. The Miz can lose a match, but all my other guys are winning. It's like,
it's just,
that's the thing too. When you book a show like that, it's like, that's why I love Forbidden Door, because like they booked it perfectly. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, how the fuck do you book that even? Like, how the fuck would you book these matches? Wesley versus Ricochet versus Bandito, Rhea and Jade. Who's winning that?
Yeah.
Hobbs, Lashley, Braun Breaker, and Wardlow. Who fucking comes out on top in that match? You know what I'm saying? Sheeta and Charlotte Flair. Like,
that's why no time soon I'd like to see, which I don't think it will happen. That's why no time soon I'd wanna see like a show like this because of that. And it's like, to kind of go to like your Bush League comment, like, I don't know how, like, you got to think like AEW and like Tony Khan like touts like selling out Arthur Ashe Stadium, right? Which is like, I don't know how many does that fit. Is it like 30 or 40-ish thousand? Something like that he sells, right? Which I think is awesome. I think it's cool, like that stadium and everything. But you got to think like Mania just broke the they broke the gate record, and there's not a single match made. And that's because there's years of build and everything like that. Like, you know what I mean? I'll never be that guy to be like, they're just that much better. Like, no, that's not the case. But it's like, I think that's why you need, like, because as Dan says too, we live in that microwave world environment that you can't see this yet. You can't. Let AEW grow more. I give it like a year or two. AEW's probably gonna, which I'm kind of shocked they haven't. You think there's a reason Tony Khan hasn't tried like a show at the Jaguar Stadium yet? Because that's not big football stadium.
I'm not sure why he hasn't booked that yet. Because it's fucking huge. I don't know if he can sell it out. That's probably the problem.
Like, do real talk. Do you think AEW could sell out like a 60,000-70,000 stadium?
No, I don't think so. They have trouble. They have trouble selling out these bigger shows. Like Arthur Ashe is 23,000.
Oh, you looked it up?
Yeah.
So you got to think like they do some Raws at events like that.
Yeah. Like, I don't think they've done the Jaguar thing because I don't think he's confident that they would sell it out. Because you don't want to have that wide shot and then you're seeing half a fucking empty arena, bro. That shit ain't a good look for anybody, bro.
See, dude, I think they could. I don't know, man.
Maybe
like I said,
for a pay-per-view, maybe if they really have like, I mean, they gotta have like Sasha, they gotta have Punk 100% healthy, they gotta have Hulk Hogan and fucking
the NWO's back, brother.
They gotta bring back the NWO. Like they would have to really fucking. You're not gonna sell out 60,000 seats with like Darby Allin, as much as I love him, with Darby and Ricky, and those guys are not gonna get. They're not gonna get that done, bro.
So how long you think till they could get there?
I mean, again, as is said on this show many times, it takes time to build this thing.
It does.
And, continue to build your audience. Because look at even their ratings. Like last week's Dynamite was fucking great, and it did like 800,000. And again, we don't talk ratings and that bullshit on the show.
No, we don't
care. But it's just in relation to they were doing 1 million, they were doing 1 million, 1.2 million, 1.3 million, and then now they're down to like 800,000. So, you're
tomorrow's going to be a big
audience.
test.
You're not going down. You know what I mean? It's going the other way. So, for them to fill out a 60,000 seat arena like Dallas Stadium or some shit like that, yeah, they'd have to have massive stars. And again, that's the thing with WWE. It's well established over 40, 50 years.
Yeah, that's what it is.
They got all the contracts for all the places. They're the attraction. You know what I mean? It is what it is. So they're able to do shit like that. I don't think AEW's on that level yet. It's gonna take a couple of years, bro, at least.
Yeah, I think it might take more. You know what I mean? Like I said, they could. I think if Tony like hyped up a show like well in advance, you know what I mean? Not like tomorrow on Dynamite he announces Double or Nothings in Allegiant Stadium. Like I don't think it would work that quick. But if they did like a year announcement like they do with the Manias, like hey, All Out's gonna be in the Chicago Field, whatever the stadium's called, Soldier Field.
I think it's the United Center. Obviously, they were going to sell out because of CM Punk, but the United Center is.
The United Center's up there
they
too.
sold,
I think.
They,
like
they
as
were
far
sold out.
Yeah,
they were sold out.
I definitely think they're going to get there. People just got to lay off them when it comes to things like that,
I'm sorry. I can't do two things at once, unfortunately.
But yeah, I guess what we're getting at for the people listening before you comment, it's like, I don't think we're saying that it's light years ahead. Just one, you got to give it time. But I can speak for both of us here. We definitely think they have the potential to get there. And we want them to have the potential to get there. And they're doing the right things, the little things like changing that stage, bringing in these backstage people from other companies and, working on these TV deals, getting your TV company involved in it. Like that's going to help build your product. They got the talent to bring people in. Now you got to work on the presentation.
Yeah. United Center is 23.5. So, they did sell that out, but that was on the back of CM Punk coming back. So,
And you got to think Chicago's like the hardcore wrestling fan. So are they going to do that in LA? Like we'll see tomorrow. I'm pretty like, I don't know if that one is like kind of going back. We hate talking ratings, but like in my opinion, if they don't get like I'd say if they don't get over 1 mil or 1.1 tomorrow, like, but especially when you think Mercedes is coming.
People are speculating Mercedes is gonna show up tomorrow, but it's like, bro, they're not even teasing.
I don't think she's gonna.
They're not teasing anything. Not even a kind of teasing. Like there's no. The only thing you can say is that Britt said I'm the boss in one of the promos last week or whatever, and that's like, come on, you could take that anyway or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, if she would have said I'm the CEO, because that's what Mercedes said at the New Japan show, you may be a little closer to thinking that something's happening. But bro, if you're seeing that Mercedes sold out this fucking New Japan show just on her name alone, and Kairi, of course. You wouldn't you want to like at least somewhat maybe do like the CM Punk thing where you teased it without really teasing it, so you could get some, you know what I'm saying, pop a number. But that's why I don't think she's gonna show up. I don't think it's there yet. Maybe she wants to win the belt first and then show up with like a belt. You know what I mean? She might want to show up with that
from a guy who's going to the show tomorrow. I have no anticipation of seeing her. Would I love to see her? Yes, I will mark out 100% if she comes out. But like no BS, I am fully anticipating her not to be there because, as I said earlier in the show, Tony Khan did nothing to make you think she's going to be here. And in a world where, especially in the wrestling world, where world's worst secret is a good thing, there's no sign of this. There's no CM Punk signs of this, you know? So, and it sucks because they're going to get a lot of backlash for it if she's not there, which is dumb, but they will.
Yeah, it's, you know, not even a tease. It's just weird. I doubt it, bro. I really do. Again, I think she wants to show up with a belt.
Which is fair.
Which would
or knowing
help,
she's gonna win.
Which would help because then she could like technically instead of going after a title, she could defend her title. You know what I'm saying? And push the fact that she's the fucking champ, the women's champion in Japan or whatever. That way you're not like, you know what I'm saying, immediately throwing her up against Jamie Hayter, and then you run the risk of kind of ruining her push. So, you know, again, we like to book our own shit on the show.
Yeah, it could be like if you brought her in tomorrow, whether she's in the match or not, have her stare down with Britt or the face down with Britt. Because I have the feeling if she comes in, she's going to face Britt. That's just me personally because, you know, we hate saying it, but the TBS title is more of an undercard women's title, and you don't want to beat Jamie yet. Have that stare down, win the title, bring Mercedes in, defend the New Japan title, gets American eyes on New Japan once again. But that depends if New Japan wants that. New Japan might be like, nah, y'all got to come watch us to get it, which I wouldn't blame them either.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, yo, we've been very good with this Forbidden Door, but now that we got the hottest free agent in wrestling, nah, you coming to us to watch this, you know?
That's so what I would do.
Like I said,
that's what you're supposed to do is take your stars and be like, yo, this person's here. You want to come see it? You're going to have to come see it here. And that's what you do.
Yeah, because think about it. How often have we seen like Omega in New Japan? Really? Like we haven't seen him a crazy amount, right? Since AEW?
He just came back.
Yeah. Was
After
that the
what,
first
5
time
years?
since he's
5 years, bro. It's been 5 years.
Yeah, so yes, you got to think like I can't blame them if they do the same thing, you know. But I think to kind of bring it back to where we were, I think we both booked some good cards.
Yeah, it's
we went on a tangent.
Like kind of do originally was like we were gonna like for people listening or watching, we were gonna like meld them together and make one card, but I don't even know if we can do that. And again, we're leaving so many people out because that's how much talent is out there with these two. I mean, I got House of Black on the pre-show. I didn't want to do that, but I really couldn't move any of these other people down into the pre-show. So
we didn't have Hangman. You got to think like we both left out
Hangman.
You know what I mean? Crazy. Who else? I'm trying to think who else we left out. I personally
I left out Darby Sting. I left out Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus.
Yep. I personally left out like Bryan Danielson and Cody Rhodes because they've done both. You know what I mean? That was just me personally, but still, Jericho still was left out. You know, we could have booked Jericho.
That whole crew.
Society. You know, even like you could have done some dumb shit like Jericho Appreciation Society against the Brawling Brutes with Drew.
Right.
Banger after banger. The Banger Bros. But yeah, it just like we left out a lot, and that just shows how much great wrestlers there are out there. So kudos to them.
Yeah, I actually had a match when I first thought of this. I had a match with Hook, and I forget who it is that I wanted him to go up against, and it was such a funny choice, and it's killing me that I can't remember that shit now. I think it might have been Dominic.
I was gonna say like someone like in. Well, yeah, you got the next generation fighting each other.
Yeah, I don't know if it was Hook versus Dominic. Fuck, man, I can't remember who it was, but it was when I thought of it, I was like, oh, that's hilarious. And then from there, I started making most of my other card. But yeah, left a lot of names off, man. But
left Danhausen.
Oh, of course.
Danhausen versus Uncle Howdy.
Danhausen and Dexter Loomis.
Yeah, oh god, that would just be horrendous. That'd actually, we'll think about it because Dexter Loomis doesn't talk or do anything, and then Danhausen like curses him.
Yeah, he does all the talking.
Yeah. Oh god, Danhausen, he's great. I love Danhausen personally. I hope I see him tomorrow. Nah, the big ones I want to see tomorrow that aren't advertised. I really want to see Hook. And
yeah, you're getting him versus Morrissey.
Oh yeah, him Morrissey. And who's Hook?
He's wrestling
Jungle Boy and Jungle Boy against Big Bill and Big Bill and Lee Moriarty, correct?
Lee Moriarty, yeah.
Yep. I'm amped most for the ladder match because when I went to Double or Nothing, Kenny Omega wasn't cleared, so this is my first time seeing Kenny Omega.
Oh, and you're getting the final, bro.
Yeah. That was, like I said it to the Mercedes speculation, but mostly this match is what sold me on it. Like, dog, like, yo, you're telling me you can drive an hour to go see that? Like, I'm gonna go do that.
Hell yeah, bro.
But I think that's all for us.
Speaking of Kushida's heading to GCW. Ooh. On the 17th, he's gonna be on the GCW show, so I gotta watch that. There's so much wrestling,
that's something different.
And then also, guys, I know we don't talk about this a lot on this show, but Impact is having a pay-per-view on the 13th. It's called Hard to Kill. If you want to support them, I would get this show because it's a fucking killer card that they have. The main event is freaking Bully Ray versus Josh Alexander. So that's going to be fucking great.
Yes.
Because Bully Ray is fucking awesome. Even though I'm not a fan of him personally, but he is probably the greatest heel of all time. Ever. After seeing him live, I've decided that he's the greatest heel ever. And you could argue with your fucking father if you don't agree. As I like to say on Twitter. Argue with your father.
Oh God.
If you can find him.
Oh, that's great. That's great. But yeah, that's all I got, bro. You got anything else?
Yeah, man. Listen, we're all wrapped up and done. We gave you our card. If you guys heard this show and you thought of some people that we left out, if you thought of some matches you'd like to see, gimmick matches or any of that sort that you wanted to add, you already know what to do. Hit us up on Twitter, hit us up on Instagram, go to the YouTube page, drop it in the comments. Drop a T for your Trash Boys in the comments section of those YouTube videos. Come on, I want to see those T's in there. And other than that, man, we thank you so much for joining us for episode 127 of Wrestling is Trash. I am Lou from the BX, your friend till the end. And thank you. Just thank you again. Very grateful for you guys who are tuning in and listening. So,
yes, thank you. Thank you. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Nick Anicelli, but most importantly, the show on YouTube and Instagram at Wrestling is Trash, and on Twitter at Wrestling Be Trash. Thank you guys for joining for the past 1 hour, 28 minutes, and 35 seconds. Y'all have a good one.
You get you some merch if you want, bro. Look at this hat. My sexy ass name on this hat. Look at that shit. Get you some merch.